YouTube, and I think on Instagram, but I believe Instagram is delayed.
It,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
it
Question.
was important to say it first. Do you have it like the miniature to send that we are live in different social media or no?
Like the thumbnail, I just used the
Yes.
generic thumbnail
Okay.
for now. So and then if Brian, if you want to send us a thumbnail later, we can always update it.
Okay, cool.
Um there we go. Okay. Yeah, we're streaming live to the ones
Ta-da!
of people. It's just me looking at our own stream. But for those of you who are watching late, hi. Welcome to the Instant Ink Comic Book Podcast. It's been a while. I'm Adriano. We have Roberto here, and today we got Brian Domingos, somebody we've been online friends for a while through Discord and as fans of Two Headed Nerd and all that stuff, which has been pretty cool. So finally, we're here together. Thank you
Yeah,
for
it's
coming.
awesome.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, normally, we'll do like the whole pitch sequence and all that and be like, hey, do you have anything coming out? We were just chatting before, we're just kind of here to chat today. With that, is there anything that you want to do? You want to tell us about anything you want to drive people to, or
No, I'm just a guy, man. I I have I'm a municipal accountant in my day job, and
Nice.
I am a comic reader, uh, and I've got story. I've always been writing stories since I was a little kid, and so I've written, I did write nothing produced, but a full length graphic novel 20 years ago. That was like, I'm proud of it. It's not good enough for anyone to like make, but it's like, oh, it's good to get that, you got to get that out of your system. And so just that, and I've got other stuff in the pipeline that I'm kind of coming up with ideas here or there. And so it's a fun muscle, to kind of think visually, and I can't draw for anything, but I like layouts, and I love an art book where it tells you here's how we do it, here's how the script works, and here's like there's a I don't know if I have it around here. I'll see if I can find it. It's this book that's got all this Mike Mignola stuff, and it's like here's why he does a page like that. And it's like those little panels where it's like a spooky bird, and it's like, oh, it's for pacing, and it's for this other thing, and it's for mood, and it's like he's a genius. Like you just look, oh, it's really it's a nice bird, but it's like no, it's ominous. It's on purpose, and so that kind of stuff is so cool. And so from the writer point of view, it's like thinking visually and doing that. So
Nice.
And you guys do that, Roberto does that, and Adriano, you've got your stuff, and I'm just a fan, so we could talk about it.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's awesome, and you're in good company in the writers aspect of things, just because we've had a lot of writers on here.
Yeah.
We've tend to lean writer more so than artist, but so that's why Roberto's here to fill in the gaps that our crude drawings can't pull off on our own. So we have someone who's well versed. But yeah, it's there's something to the appreciation of it, and it's something I think we don't do enough with comics, which is like just enjoy them and really like look at what makes them tick and what makes them work really well. Like we're more than happy to do it for novels and for film and for every other medium, but for comics, I don't know, we just don't treat it at that same level. I'm not saying we have to do university courses and stuff on them, but just like there's an art to it. It's
for
it's
sure.
worth being appreciated, right?
All those social media posts of like Paul Thomas Anderson about like, oh, here's the colors he chose, and it's like, yeah, that's true, but like look at what this artist did. Like look what Matt Hollingsworth did. Like the colors he chose on this, and just like I'm a big coloring and like lettering nerd. Like I love like bad lettering is like bad lighting in a movie. Like good lettering you don't really see, but if it's bad, it's bad. Like if it's too dark, if the film's too dark, you can't see what's going on. Like it sticks out. But good lighting, like just that's just what you're supposed to do. And so looking at word balloons and the choice of the fonts and all that, like it really makes a difference. And seeing how that works, and your videos that you've made about how to letter, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to letter, and it's just so hard. But like it's inspirational. It's like, yeah, you just do it, like you find the time, and and you go through it. And so yeah, looking at lettering and kind of analyzing coloring, and like I think it's it's one of those really cool, like I like black and white comics, but like when there's a book where you open it up and you're like, nothing's ever looked like this before, you know, like the stippling of the leaves, and like you get into some really crazy stuff, and especially when it's like an artist who does everything, right? Like pencils, inks, and digital colors, or even like watercolors. Like it's just like, man, it blows you away.
Oh yeah, I'm always jealous of those folks that can do it end to end. But fortunately, there are only a handful of them. Otherwise,
I should
there's no
send
room
you
for
a
me
copy
there.
of my comic then.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I'm always jealous of those folks. Just
Oh, yeah.
like, how do you do it all? But you know,
Patience.
yeah, I think also, yeah, the one thing I was just about to share my screen, but a thought came to my head. The one thing the thing that got me going, like before I got started in all of this, was like I can't remember where I heard it, but it was just the idea of like, you know, how did you get to this level? How did you do this? And I wish I could remember where the quote came from, but it's just like someone's got to do it. Like
Right.
that's the answer. It's like,
Yep.
how did you learn all this? It's like it's someone's job. Like someone writes Batman, someone does this, someone does that.
Right.
So it's like, why not you? Like it's someone's job to do this. So
Yeah.
same idea. It was just like, that's a good point. Like it's just people who just decided to do it. Like they weren't bestowed any special anything. They just, you know, and then it's a lot of hard work and all that stuff and skill and things you have to develop. But at the end of the day, it was just someone who's like, I'm going to do this. This is where I'm going to put my time in and learn to do this thing. And then they did it, and now they do that. Right. So, you know, that was a few years ago for me now. And now there's comics in the world. But
Yeah.
it took somebody just being like, why don't you just do it, man? Right?
It's like, right. You know, you got all these things, and I've played in bands for most of my life, and
Nice.
You know, the collaboration of that, and I've written, you know, I can't write lyrics for a lick, ironically, but like I write the music, and like these things, it's like, where do they come from? They come out of you, you know, like they just kind of, it just kind of happens, and
through you.
Right. You know, like you get like there's one of our songs, we had the bridge came out of I was recording on my phone, like no big deal, the verse and the chorus, and then my wife had gotten home, and I knew they were coming in the house, and I just like did something, and then they took too long to come in the house, and it like kept going, and then it was just the part, like it was not planned, and it's perfect, and it's exactly what it should be, and it's just one of those things, like it came out and it's exactly what it should be, and you know, you never know when that's going to happen, so you just kind of sit down at the you know, at the guitar or the keyboard or, you know, your tablet, and you just figure it out, and it's great. It's so much fun, and you don't need other people, or you collaborate, you know. It's great. It's so much fun, and you know,
and I think it gets easier once you've had the practice, and once you have like the language for it, I think is the key to it, right? Like, you know, you could really be into music and you could really feel it, but if you can't actually do it, just same like with drawing in that, right? Like it's like you need the skill to really put it through. So as you build the skill, like it just seems to get easier and easier to like, okay, like this is how I tell my stories, right? Whether it's music or writing or anything like that. So, but it's like anything. It's a muscle. It's a skill you got to build up. So, it's funny how like, regardless of the medium, there's more or less the same concept, right? That you just have to do it.
Like, no one did it before you. You got to do it. You know.
That's it. It's kind of silly in a way that it's like that's all it is. It's like that's the best advice you can get. Like just do it. Don't wait for
pick
permission.
up whether it's a pen and a piece of paper or, you know, a 2-string guitar, and just figure it out. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And be willing to suck at it. Like that's right. Which most people aren't willing to do. Right.
Absolutely.
They want to be good right away, and that's just not how it works. You gotta. You gotta just admit it. Like, okay, I'm gonna be bad at this until I'm not. And I know it's hard for a lot of people, but that's just the truth of it. Okay, so with all that, ignore these. So we talked about it very briefly before the show, but what we'll normally do is we'll bring up some prompts. We'll use the prompts, but you're not tied to the prompts. This is just to get the juices flowing, as we've been talking about getting the story to come through you. This is to get that first little motion going. So I refresh it because I've been looking at those. And I'll quickly read these out. I see a repeat, but I think it's been long enough. We could probably do it if you like it. So, what do we got? We got question mark, an unexpected question asked to a character and their reaction. Perfect recipe. Write about events that created a perfect disaster. Ugh, can't read tonight. Car keys. Where's the car going to take the character? The meal. You find yourself in a unique eating situation while having a meal. That's an interesting one. And Dreamcatcher. Someone is able to steal your dreams. So, any of those sticking out to you? Any of them seem interesting?
Boy. I think that the Dreamcatcher is pretty interesting.
Right on. All right, we'll go with Dreamcatcher. You could always use 2 if you want. But like I said, if the story goes another way, that's cool too. This is just to get you started. This is fully the most prompt of prompt. So we'll go with Dreamcatcher to start. So I'm going to kill my screen. And then, Roberto, when you have a second, share yours. And then
I had to go run and buy a new mouse because my touchpad just died.
Oh,
I don't know what happened. Yeah. So I'm gonna share now.
You can never trust the technology.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Are you seeing it?
Yeah, I have to enable it.
So, okay.
So there we go.
There. Perfect.
Cool. Okay. Dreamcatcher. So what are we doing with this this prompt? So usually the guidelines I'll give. Again, we're free to do anything. We've done splash pages. I think we did a 9-panel one. I think we went that far. Usually the sweet spot's somewhere in between 4 to 6 panels. I find it helps if you know where the ending is going, and then kind of work up to it. But if you have an image in mind, if you have a thought, if something sparked when you saw Dreamcatcher, what are you thinking?
So this is, I don't know if it was an actual dream or I don't know if, Roberto, I saw the small child on your camera there. When my kids were little, and you're kind of sleep deprived, there were some instances of, hallucination where, you're sleeping and you doze off and you don't realize you're asleep, and then something, happens. And I had the one where I thought I was holding the baby and then I dropped the baby, but it was like, no, the baby's asleep and you're just dreaming, like I dozed off, but it was like, oh my God. So there was an instance where, it was a dark hallway. And there is a tall, thin man with long white hair, dressed all in white, kind of like a classic Warren Ellis character, the raggedy kind of suit thing, and kind of in the distance, and then closer, and then lunging, and that was like the shake awake of, oh my God, and it's that kind of so when I think of the Dreamcatcher, it's almost like the grasp, the pulling you out of the dream almost.
Oh, dark.
It's one of those visuals of like, it
stuck with you.
It really did. But yeah, it's like the long, a white beard and like everything's white. And then in the darkness around, and then just the kind of like, what is that? And then closer, lunge kind of thing. Yeah, no, that was almost 10 years ago, and I don't forget it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sounds like one that would stick. I get that idea. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how that happens. Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, just when at night when the doors kind of cracked, and I'm like, I'm sure there's nothing out there, but you get that feeling of like, I don't know.
Yeah, just that like unsettling feeling. Yeah.
And it like those moments of the sleep deprived hallucination where they were really, because you're so on high alert, you're just thinking about like, this helpless thing is with you and you have to, you're on duty, and it's like, oh my God, what, what am I doing? And yeah, that was one of those
It's
moments.
toying with that anxiety, right? Of like,
Exactly. Yeah.
there's nothing
Yeah.
you can do.
Even that. Oh God, the white figure there, Roberto. Perfect.
Got the vibe going right away.
Yeah.
Yo, my leg's not a scratching post. Sorry about that, but my cat's convinced I am a human scratching post. What are you doing? All right. Anyway, sorry. What? Oh my goodness. Okay. He's being very distracting. There we go. This is Oliver. He's a real pain. There we go. You're gonna say something, or you're just gonna sniff it? Okay. Yeah, he's a butt. Ow, ow. Okay, go. Now you don't want attention. Anyways, so for this page, so I think this is a good like ending frame, right? Like we want to. I think you kind of laid it out, which is
Yeah.
it's like the person sleeping, and so there's something like coming around the corner,
Right.
around like right, and it's just hinting, and then you get to this, and that's like your boom at the end.
Yeah. It's the sudden like, oh, it's there. You know, like a snake. You know, like a reach out, and
Okay.
kind of with the hand.
Right on. Yeah, and this is so Roberto usually says it. This is a good like this is the layout phase. So if you
Yeah.
see something that's not what you expected, or you have an idea or whatever, now's the time. And then we can always rework and adjust and say, no, I wasn't thinking that. More like this. It's something that you don't get when you normally make comics because oh my goodness, guy.
No, you know, and it's funny when I'm doing my you know, my scripting and or at least the layouts and trying the pacing of the panels. I've got little I don't know how big they are, like, you know, 5x8 notepads, and they're like all over the place at home. They're on my work desk, like little rectangles with little rectangles in them. You know, like I'm drawing
yeah.
you know, 1, 2, like 2 on the top, 3 on the, you know, because do they fit, you know, as you know, kind of the economy of space and with, you know, without even the word balloons, like, does this work? Does the flow work? How does this look? And yeah, it must look like a lunatic. They're just these little boxes inside of boxes on, you know, little pieces of paper.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
yeah.
my first couple scripts, that's how I did it as well. I would like draw the layout to get my mind of like what I wanted to pull off, and then I'd write the script.
Yeah.
Now I try to just like freehand, like I just write it and try to visualize. And I sometimes like whenever like I say it because I'm actually going through that trouble right now with one of the scripts I'm writing. And it's that same thing where it's like every page is 5 panels. It's like that doesn't
Yeah.
work. The pacing is off. So I had
Right.
to go
Yeah.
and
It starts to look not boring, but like the same, right? And like you want to vary it up a little bit and yeah, there's all those things where it's really because I think the visual is really the appealing part.
And you vary it and you find the beauty and the rhythm. If it's all monotone, it's the same rhythm every time.
Yeah, exactly, right? You don't want to do like a comic strip, like where it's the same 3 panels over and over.
Exactly. Yeah, you want
right?
you need to, because you could do anything you want with these. You know, you could make them. They don't all have to be, you know, the old you know, Jack Kirby the old school 4 panels on every page. You know, which is like dynamic and huge, but like that's not what you can. You know, especially because I'm looking at shorter stories right now. I've decided, do an 8-page thing, do a 10-page thing, you know, try to figure out how to do that before you. And then I had an idea for like I don't know, a 4 or 5 issue miniseries. It's like, oh my God, what are you doing? But it was a long drive, and you know, things kept building. I was like, oh geez, that's too much for 20 pages. But you know, but yeah, trying to fit that stuff in and don't waste time, especially in an 8-page story. Like you can't waste time. And that's the yeah, I've got 4 different ideas right now that I'm kicking around, and you know, it's that stuff. Like, how does this work, and how long is too long? You know, and then is this dialogue any good? Like, that's a whole nother thing, you know. But just plotting is first.
100%. Yeah, I find the best way to go about it is, and it's hard to do sometimes too, especially if you're really hard on yourself about it, is you just write it. You just do it. You just write it all out. make your 40-page script that has to be 20, and then you figure out what to cut. But like get it
Right.
out, because sometimes you'll find something better out of it, right?
Mhm.
Like if you just like force it and you just do it and you say, okay, like we're just gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
Like it'll turn out, you'll get where you need to go, but you have to get it on the page first, right? Like
Yeah.
you can't. I know there's people who like edit as they go. I just can't. I can't do that. I need to have like the structure out there, and then
Mhm.
I'll peel back. And then usually what happens is I'll do that in the outline. So my
Mhm.
outlines, I like grow and grow and grow, right? Like I tell myself the story, and then I start doing an outline that's like page by page, which is like nearly what the script is going to be. But then I write it again as a script, and that's my last chance to kind of really hone in the pacing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, okay, sometimes I'll overwrite, and I have to pull things back, or I notice there's too many scenes of talking heads, which
Yeah.
you need it here or there, but it's comics, so you can't have it.
Right.
Right.
So when you talk about an outline, are you doing like what's is it a paragraph kind of thing, or is it is it a bullet point? Like how are you doing it?
Yeah, so the first one I do is sometimes if it's something that I'm really trying to figure out, I use the mic, and I'll do like a
Right.
dictation and literally just
Mhm.
telling myself the story.
Yeah.
And that's my like first ugly like nonsensical draft where I'm like, I'll be like, and then they go to the park, and they go down the slide. Actually, scrap that. They go to the right. They go to the mall, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of that nonsense that I have to then parse through.
Mhm.
But if that's when it's like really like a very faint idea, or like a seed. um if I have a good idea, I just go straight to the next bit, which is just telling myself the story like beginning to end. Like we're sitting around the dinner table, and I'm just
Mhm.
saying, let me tell you a story, right? And then I'll just go from beginning to end, and then I do another draft, which is me trying to pace it out page by page,
Mhm.
saying, and like, but again, I won't take that outline and chop it up. I use the outline to rewrite it,
Yeah.
right? Because I do find that then I like, oh, this doesn't make sense here, or this,
Yeah.
this subplot doesn't work, or it needs a subplot. I've done
Right.
that sometimes, where it's like this guy appears and then nothing happens, so I need to loop them in somehow.
Yeah.
Um, so that's where you start to get more of the structure in, right? Like telling yourself the story is just like you get the broad view, but when you start going page by page, then it's like then it becomes more of a comic.
Right.
Um, yeah, and then from there, I'll if I'm really not sure, I'll start outlining panel by panel, which is not the script. Like I don't do dialogue or anything, or if I do like this line might work here, but
Mhm.
again, I break it down again, and then I go to the script, and then I edit the script 2 or 3 more times. So I have artists waiting left and right, because I'm like, I have a script I'm working on, and it's always like I'm reworking.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of that. So like, what do they say? Writing is rewriting, right?
Right.
That's the like. I wish it was just like idea on the page done. I would have so much work that I owe people ready. But
Yeah. No.
yeah,
And I think I personally get bogged down in the rewrite, like tweaking stuff. Like, oh,
yeah,
maybe this, and it's like I gotta just plow through and and I realize you don't have you don't know how this ends yet. It's like
yes,
I know what pages 2 through 5 look like, but I don't have an ending yet. Like it's and so it starts to get kind of tricky, and then I go back to page 1, and then it's back and forth, and it's a fun exercise, and I mean the one that I've been working on the most recently, it's like a little like private eye thing, so it's just people
nice.
and like emotion, and like it's a fun kind of down on his luck guy, and but like I'm beginning, like I know who he is now, and I didn't know at the beginning. Like I had an image of like, oh, this is what the story is, and then um he's kind of grown out of that, and it's a cool little thing to see. um it's like I drove down it. I took a side street through a nearby town, and I saw like it didn't look the way I thought it would look. I was like, "Oh, this is an interesting area," and then it was like that area and this guy in this car, and it's like, okay, this is where this is going to work. Um, but yeah, it's the plot sometimes. What is this? Why are they doing this, and how does this work? And that's how far back I am in the process. But there's some other the dictation machine is huge. Like being able to talk into your phone and just like get stuff out it's pretty good now. Like the voice recognition is pretty accurate.
Yeah,
and you can cut and paste. And I've gotten that out of just like 3 pages of like what happens. It's like, oh, that worked really well. So it's cool that happens.
Yeah, it's much easier to parse and like because I know there's a lot of folks there's a lot of writers and stuff that I talk to. I go to this. It's coming next month for those of you interested. I'm supposed to be promoting that the Toronto Indie Authors Conference. So that's more for like your prose writers. And I talk to a lot of them, and I tell them like I use dictation, and they're like, "What? That's not writing." It's like, but however it gets in, like however you get the words on the page. I don't see why I have to sacrifice my wrists to.
It's still.
I bet with the invention of the typewriter, the guys who wrote with the pens. That's
the longhand, yeah,
yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, you type. Oh boy,
yeah. It's not
you're
like
still
I'm
coming up with it. It's it's your voice in either. It's in it's still you. It's
exactly
it's not,
right.
It's not a shortcut. It's still because you still have to edit it, right? You still got to sit down and say, well, this doesn't make any sense. And
exactly. It's not like I'm using an AI prompt and saying,
right,
write me a novel.
You guys are against AI, right? And we're gonna
yes.
Okay.
I used it last time that I was alone in the podcast. I didn't have any writer, so I asked ChatGPT to make me a script. So I did the drawing live.
I will say so. Like I'm not entirely like I'm not like no AI ever. I think there are uses for it, and I think the problem too is AI is like a broad brush, right?
Oh yeah,
like it's like again the dictation arguably is AI,
right?
Yeah. I use that regularly though. I use like the transcripts and stuff. So
the translation stuff is great. Like what does it say?
Yeah, right. Like so there's I wouldn't say that I'm fully like I use it. Like I use it. I don't use it to write scripts. I'll use it to proofread, right? Which is but again that's like because I use what's the one? Pro Writing Aid, right? Which is it's like Grammarly, but it's like more fiction focused. But that's an AI as well, right? So I wouldn't say I'm completely against it, but
now you mentioned it. When I write, occasionally when I write something, I don't put it on the AI to correct it or to proofread it because I'm like afraid that it's gonna use it for something else. So I prefer to
right. It's gonna scrape it and dump it in someone else's
true.
Yeah,
and it probably is, but I mean at the end I think the problem with it is if you have Gmail or you're using a Google Doc, I think you're already susceptible to that. They say they don't, but I'm sure.
Yeah, right? You're right.
So they're
I mean, it's I've got it in whatever things are in Gmail. And like when I'm typing an email, it's like that's what I would have written when it's like filling in, and it's like, oh boy, like no, it's I've had this Gmail account for 20 years, so it knows me pretty well at this point. But
exactly right, like it has my voice pretty nailed down. So like I'll use it, and I think there are good uses for it. Do I use it to like write for me? No, because then what's the fun? Like at what point do you
I mean the cliche of I've got a one sentence idea and then it does a comic for you in the style of Jim Lee or something, and it's like, there, I made a comic. It's like, no, you didn't make a comic. Like it stole all these things, all the technique from all these other people, like the 100,000 hours that Jim Lee spent drawing his comics, or it's done in the style of Calvin and Hobbes or something. Like it's just so like that's not making comics, but
and I think that stuff is frivolous anyway, right? Like I think the like I like it, all the people coming up with whatever ideas they have now. Like there was that one with was it Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise or something fighting or whatever, and like I can't even remember it now, right? And that's kind of the point. Like it was just like, oh, that's neat. much
it's
like all of
disposable. Yeah.
that's exactly it. So I think the people that are like very like AI heavy are that stuff's like, it's like you never had it to begin with, right? Like you never did the hard work to learn why this works, like an accounting thing here. So this is more, it's more bookkeeping, accounting.
Yeah.
But
Well, even in that video, there were actors doing all they did was replace their faces, like, but
yeah,
there's still skilled fighters, choreographed fighters doing the work. It's like they're like, look what we did. It's like, yeah, but you still had to have humans do something. And
yeah,
then, I mean, we've seen how many, every Marvel movie is motion capture, the tennis ball and the dots. It's like all they did was swap, um, what Ego's face on the Guardians of the movie. It's like
yeah.
it's a man's face on a planet. Like that's not colored in. Like it's a computer. Like
Yeah.
so yeah,
So
I
there,
mean
yeah,
Wait,
there's
wait,
going
wait,
to
wait.
be
Sorry,
yes,
I'm gonna stare back to the page from
yes. Let's
the
do that.
AI.
absolutely, yeah.
Because
No, it's looking very cool.
I stay on this
We'll
image,
be here till
and
midnight otherwise. Yeah.
I forgot about the plot or what the idea of the storytelling. And one more thing, we have someone in the chat. I don't know if we have someone else
Oh,
listen
the chat.
or watching, but
Lettering is critical. That's right.
yeah,
Oh yeah, here we go. I could show it. I could show it.
yeah.
Yeah, Jason, thank you.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Jason. Yeah,
Yeah.
our first comment live.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
I mean, like when it made me such a a fanatic for lettering when it's like, they've got the serif like I in the middle of a word. I'm like, no,
You've done
don't
it
do it.
wrong. You broke
What are
the
you
rules.
doing? Like,
Yeah.
someone's got their samples on Reddit and there's some artists and they're like, oh, I'm looking for work. It's like your lettering's bad. Like if you got to fix that, it just looks cheap, and
Yeah.
it looks like, even if it's not Comic Sans, it looks Comic Sans, like it's just got that, like, it
He's
just
just like
doesn't look
aligned
right.
wrong, and like it's there's an art to it. I
Yeah.
always say like the thing with lettering is it's like a referee. Like if you're noticing it, then they've done
Right.
something wrong.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
Like
It should, I mean, it's important, but it should kind of fade into the background a little bit. It's,
yeah, it's like it's an additive thing. Like if it's done
yeah.
well, it just adds to the experience, but it doesn't
Yeah.
take away from it. And that's
Oh, bad lettering will stick out no matter how good the
100%.
art is. Like if you've got,
You can ruin it.
or coloring too, right? Like when I see these art, especially there's so many more, I don't want to say it's easy, but like it used to be so hard to be a colorist. Like you had to like, either the markers or like the weird inks or something. And now it's just like computer, and you see them really put the work in their shading and their rendering and the coloring. It's like your figure work isn't there. Like your
Yeah.
faces are wonky. So yeah, that's a lovely coloring, but you need to work more on your form before you can get don't cover it up with colors. Like we can tell, like it looks nice, but like your figures are bad, like your hands are bad or your face
Yeah.
is bad, or your eye, like and it's you got to put the time in, and it's just there's an access to this stuff. I say as someone who can't do any of that, but
Well,
I mean, I'm reading it. Like I want to see good stuff,
Yeah.
and like I love going through like the collaborators groups on Reddit and seeing who's out there, and seeing who, when you see these people and they're like, oh, I'm looking for work, and they're like so good, and it's like that they have spent the last 15 years just like busting their ass to get their line work right and their panels and their figure work and the action. When they're good, they're good. It's really amazing.
And why did you make the parallel between lettering and illumination in a movie and not the coloring and the illumination in a movie?
Seeing the difference, it's one of the, I mean, they always do that, like, the writer is the script writer or the director is the artist, and they're not, they're not the same, but I think when you've got your lettering and coloring are kind of like the sound engineering of a movie or the lighting or something, like they are secondary in the sense that you need the story to have them do something, but they're right behind it. Like it's so important to have it. And you can have a silent comic, but and there was a big published silent comic out last week that I said storytelling's not great, so like it doesn't matter, it doesn't have letters in it. Like I don't know, there was a GI Joe comic that I was like, it's all right, like it's really pretty, but like it's the storytelling is weird, and because it doesn't have any words, and sometimes it's just a success and sometimes it's not.
Yeah. It's like it's a fundamental piece, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a fundamental thing to be able to have your writing and your coloring and all that stuff done well, because like you said, like it adds to it, but it can take away just as easily or worse, like if it's done incorrectly,
Oh,
right?
if it's bad, you know, I mean, and we've seen that through like the you know, like the Vertigo comics, like the brown coloring era
Yeah.
of like, it's like you look back at that stuff and
Muddy,
it's
yeah,
like, you know, you see they start doing the computer coloring and it's like, oh, it wasn't there yet. Like
yeah.
this is not. They had the technology, but they didn't know how to use it yet. And like these are people that are good and know what they're doing, and
It just wasn't
you
there.
know,
Yeah.
it's just not there, you know, and
Yeah.
it takes time. But um,
Yeah.
no, it's all important.
100%. 100%. All right. So before we get too far, let's do this. Let's do this page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're having too much fun talking.
absolutely.
All right. So is this our last panel? Is this where we're doing a reveal, or what's the thought here?
Yeah, it's real good. I like the back of the jacket there. I think, yeah, no, so cool. Do we need what's the top one? The top one on the left, it's a little small. I can't see it very well. Can we zoom
Oh,
in on
it's
that?
just another iteration of the tall guy, just
Okay.
more crunched.
Yeah.
Here, I'll maximize this for now. There we go.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I think what we need to have a victim, right? So someone kind of maybe behind a door, or you know, kind of someone kind of peeping out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're like this person's like they're on their own somewhere, or they're right. Like they don't need to be in bed necessarily, or they could be. I don't know, but
Right.
they're somewhere vulnerable, alone in a mansion
Right.
somewhere or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is what then they hear something around the corner.
Yeah, it's like the far away, you know, it's all dark except for this kind of glowing thing, like
Mhm.
that second, the panel on the right, where it's like a kind of a specter almost.
Right on. You know, there's something to be said for being able to like knowing the form of things. That it's just a few lines, and it's like, oh yeah, that's not bad.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yeah. When you see, and it's like, you know, when there's a prompt and some, you know, I see it in my head and then they do a line. It's like, I wouldn't have done that, but that's exactly right. That's
Yeah, right.
you know, like
I think that's the difference. I will say when I write scripts, I've learned to take advantage of this from the artists I've worked with. That it's like if I leave gaps, and I've done it more like more intentionally than ever. Like I'm very sparse with my detail. I only add what like what's necessary for the story. That it's like they
yeah.
grab a cup off the table. So okay, now they have to draw a cup on a table, but like I won't give any more detail. And like
Yeah,
yes,
what's the character moment kind of thing, or the
yeah, yeah, right. Like this is just what, even if it's just for like staging or blocking, and it's like I'll give the specifics I need to and nothing else. And then what the artists come back with is always like absolutely incredible. Like they always do better than what I had in my head. So I've learned to just like lay
oh
off basically. All right.
yeah, I mean, and that's thinking of like anything you come up with is better than what I came up with. So this is what I'm seeing,
Yeah.
but if you think that this is not enough panels or too many, like, you know, do your thing. But
Right on. I brought us back up in the corner just
yeah.
just for fun. I'm still playing with this. So we're using Restream. I think everybody knows because it's plastered in the corner and won't leave. But but yeah, it's got a lot of interesting little formats and stuff that we can do the screens with.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
God. Yep.
Yeah, I usually say it's like Christmas Day when I get new pages in, right? Like I send out a script. Again, it's very like, I'm very focused on plot and character, but I'm not focused on like set design, for lack of a better term, right? Like if we're
Right.
gonna use the film way of talking, right? Like I'm not thinking about maybe a little bit like, and again, the idea in my head is usually pretty loose because I'm more thinking about like what has to happen or what this means to said character. So I'll throw the pages at the artist and then they come back with something like fully realized. And it's just like, my goodness, like this is right. Like it's something else that you
Yeah.
can.
So I think the first thing of yours that I read was the latte
Yes. Yes. With
one, and
Mattia.
I apologize, I don't remember the name of it.
Crazy latte thing
But
called love. Yes.
yeah, and so that's like a very specific location, right? And then, but then you've got the explosive flames and the like there is so much like because that does that with the combustible. Am I misremembering that? Or
no,
maybe
those are
I'm
two
mixing up.
stories.
Are those two
You're
different
mixing up two
stories?
stories.
Okay, well that yeah, I'm so because I've got the visual of like kind of like the bubbling. Yeah, I'm mixing up too, but I've read so much of your work. That's the thing.
I
But
appreciate it.
but yeah, but like you've got that really specific coffee shop idea, and like you have to rely on the storyteller to deliver, make this look like a local coffee shop, like make this be a place that people can spot in a panel without you say, well, welcome to my coffee shop, no exposition, all artwork.
Yeah, yeah, and that's exactly it, right? Like I didn't with Mattia in particular, like he added so many little details and like
Right.
all the things that were on the counter and that I ended up like as I got the art, I was like, my goodness. Like I did not expect this.
Right, like
Right?
you're
So
you're
yeah.
thinking it's a make it simple for them, right? Like
Yeah,
this is what you want. Yeah. And then he's like, well, you need this and you need this. And of course
right?
there's going to be stirs and there's going to be this and maybe a little spill and, like all that stuff.
And
So
he adds to the
like,
character so much. Like the scene that I always remember that I was like so blown away by was it was the first scene and it was just supposed to be like his coffee machine broke. Right? That was the whole thing that gets him out to the coffee shop and why he's never met this girl before. Um
right.
but then he just made like so it's like his kitchen and like all the like the mess on the counter and all the
Yeah.
knickknacks he has around and it's just like, oh my god, like you took that character and like just based on the script and the story I gave him, you like really like just fleshed him out so well just with the
Yeah.
extras that he added. So I was very happy with the results there. Um it was crazy. It was crazy again, and it was something that I didn't uh I didn't give too much instruction, right? I wasn't like, "Oh, it's a very messy apartment and, you know, there's all this stuff around." Like I was just like, "No, the coffee machine is broken." And he wakes up in the morning and he's upset that his coffee machine's broken, right?
Right.
And that was it. And again added this whole life to it that it didn't have. So, welcome back, Roberto.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And then same with Raphael, same thing. So Stay Cool was the other one with the people exploding, and
Right.
I'm like, it's a police precinct. It's not even like I'm like I did it. I was so vague about what kind of agent. I'm like they're agents of some
Right.
kind. I
Like
didn't want to
Men in
specify.
Black. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, right. It's just
They're
like they
just federal agents. Yeah.
yeah, they work for some kind of department in some kind of
Hmm.
government in some kind of law enforcement, right?
Right.
But I was just like, they are agents, and then he went and like really fleshed it out and like built the whole story through that. So, yeah, like again, I learned to really trust the artists because it's like
Hmm.
you don't have to give them everything. You just have to give them what's important, and they'll incorporate that, and then they'll add their own flavor to it. And if they're good at what they're doing, they will
Yeah.
add dimensions to it, right?
Right.
Like they read the script and then they know to really add something and add character and add details that based on what you've written though, right? So and that's the difference that really makes it the difference between a good artist and like a someone who's good at drawing, right? Like
Right. Yeah. A draftsman and an artistic collaborator, right? Who's
exactly.
so when you got that fully realized home. Now, before it was it's a room to have a broken coffee machine in it.
Yeah.
And then you now you have a home. Like, did that change the way you looked at the character himself? Like, did it give you scripting things, or did it, I know you had your whole story worked out, but like, him better now, right? Like, you
Yes.
see this is who he is, and maybe that affects what the script looks like, or
100%. Yes.
Right.
So the one benefit of comics is it's not done until it's done. So I letter my own comics, but I'm working on not doing that so much because I'm busy. But
very
even though
successful.
I love that's very nice of you to say. But but yeah, like I'm trying to keep up with this production schedule now. So I'm working with I'm trying to work with letters and stuff now. But even then, I still do a extra pass. When I was lettering, it was much easier because as I was doing the book, I'm updating. Oh, that doesn't work, or that's covered now. Like, they show this. I don't need to explicitly say it. That's like the easy scenario. But sometimes, like you said, the character comes out a bit more, and it's like, oh, I can like lean into this personality trait now with the dialogue, right?
Yeah.
And so it 100%, like, it becomes much more of a collaboration in the sense of like pages coming back and forth, and it's like, because I get to have that last touch with the lettering, I do get to like tweak it. Now that's something I'm trying to balance, right? Because I have to, much like how I write scripts, I have to take the script and then imagine the lettering almost. Right? So
Right.
I can still do it and still
Yeah.
have that last bit where I could say, actually they should say it this way. But there's something about actually like putting the letters on the page and seeing like how it really like finally looks that adds to it. So that's something I'm trying to get over. But the main point is, yes, you do get to the art 100% influences the final product.
Yeah.
Even with the script being done, you still get that chance to tweak and adjust with what's happening in the dialogue. So
Yeah.
that's been pretty good. And then with a lot of the artists I have, they usually send layouts like what Roberto's doing here, right? Where I'll get a page like this and I'll say, ooh, it would be better if they were holding something while they're walking out or whatever, right? And then that's our opportunity to add a note here or there. I'm usually pretty loose on that.
Here.
And now's the opportunity here. What a segue. But yeah. So, but I'm usually pretty loose on that. I wait for the lettering. But anyways, how are you about it? What do you think about this page?
So I know, really knowing what else Roberto has kind of produced, right? So we're running out of space. So, and so I don't know if, I don't know. What do you think about either shrinking the top tier or, I don't, removing it completely?
What do you want to see more, and what
because the initial stuff you've done with like the actual figures, and I think that particularly the one where he's looking over his shoulder, kind of like, that's really striking, and and so to get that kind of in there, maybe I think maybe bumping the middle three panels up to the top,
Okay.
in place of that, and then I think, and then seeing the other ones.
Yeah, like, do we want to make it more of a, like, I'm trying to think here, because you want to establish a little bit, right?
Right. Yeah, we need to establish a little bit. And I think to get to the feeling of kind of the terror, right? Like the the aggression of the what happens towards the end. Like, even maybe intercutting a little more.
Yeah, like, you need to see their reaction, right?
Yeah, right.
Even if
and
it's like
even in
their eyes or something.
Yeah.
Like,
So like
yeah.
that's the third panel where, like, through the door, like, even just that little, the nose and the mouth, it's like, oof, like, that's that's not like, oh my God, what is that? That, and that's that kind of thing of, we're already kind of there of, and maybe, yeah. So that tall one, perhaps in between against the door, like the panels 2 and 3, having that thing at the end of the hallway, like kind of seeing that. That was one of the initial drawings. This is going to be like me at band practice when I'm like, yeah, I think that's good, but did you try this? Because I play bass, I can fake it on a guitar, but I can't do that. I can't do a chord to save my life, but I it's like I know what I like, and I'm gonna needle it. That do you have the language for it? I don't know.
This is good though. This is good.
Yeah.
It's like what do you call it? It's like molding clay, right? Like
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I don't usually, it's usually just me with, again, drawing rectangles on pages. I'm like, no, that's not the right size. This is beautiful. We've got artwork,
Yes.
which is more than I ever have.
Well, and this is the joy of doing it. Doing this show is that
Yeah, no,
this
it's
process
so cool.
is like expedited. Normally
Right.
we do this, and if you ever write a comic, like it takes months because it's this back and forth and say,
Yeah.
oh, what if we did? Oh, can you redo this page? Can you do that? Because
Right.
it's not happening live.
Yeah, no,
right?
exactly right.
And most artists aren't gonna have someone over their shoulder like Roberto seems to be willing to. So
He's he's being very patient with me. Yeah, no, yeah, that's amply creepy right there with that new middle panel of what's that sound? There's that thing, and then like that fourth panel of creepiness of just that, like, oh my God, and that's what we're looking at.
right on.
I'm back.
You're back.
Okay. Yeah.
Should have given you a heads up. Yeah, I think so do we want, like, in this blank space now, like, we want, like, their eyes? We want some kind of reaction, right?
Yeah. What were the other on the other page, or the other layer, I guess? What was the other the pieces we had? Yeah, you got that. Yeah. Even that looks animated. It moves like, ooh, here he comes. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of thing of with that bottom row now of it kind of almost like it's like coiled up, right? And then he can maybe, yeah, with the blank space. I don't know. I think the bottom tier could move to the middle because that he's in the hallway now, right? Like he's there and he sees this thing, and then a couple action shots in his reaction of like, here it comes, kind of scooping him up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a little more action oriented than like lingering.
Yeah, like up. This is that pensive, like, what is this? And then all of a sudden it's, and that's the thing. It's the coming right at the
yeah
thing.
It's like the shark attack at the end, like the
with what, with the like screaming, or like with the fists or the hands.
I think, yeah, I think let's see. What do you think? Like a reaching kind of thing, and then a final shot of the person reacting, like to cap it off, or
what is this guy? It's a ghost. It's just a.
I don't know, man. I didn't know that. He's like I
Is
don't know,
the dream
foreboding.
catcher?
I don't know what he is. He's some thing. He's coming to take something from this victim. Um,
Right on. Yeah, so I think like, yeah, you get that reaction of like, oh, like here it
Yeah.
comes, and then I think a hand could be cool, but it depends what Roberto wants to draw.
yeah.
I hate drawing hands, but I'm not an artist, so
Yeah. Well,
I'm
you know,
still
and
trying to learn every day, and I'm not good at it.
listen, I wouldn't. I took it. I took a drawing one in college, and the artist who the teacher who actually kind of looks like this guy in white. He now that I realize, but he went around and he looked and he's like, oh, how's it going? I said, I have a problem, and he said, what's that? I said, I can't draw. He's like, oh, I can tell you can't draw. And it was just a still
Good
life
to know
kind of.
me.
You know, so I did my best, but I like the inking. The inking was fun, but the you know, nice pens for that. But yeah, I couldn't do it. So yeah, the I see the hand as like almost like a snake, or you know, that just that kind of thing. But yeah, this guy's good and creepy. I like that.
You nailed it. Yeah, I like
See, that didn't know what that was, and it's the hand. Yeah, there you go.
that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
I'm going to
So
be
we-
haunted. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's my new haunting is that final the final
So-
panel.
I feel like for the pacing now, do we because it's like boom, 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 and then two big ones. Do we
Yeah.
in that middle one? Yeah, that's one thing, right?
Mhm.
And then in the middle one, do we like condense that a little bit and get like the reverse, right? Get like their reaction
yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just so that we can see their last like and then
Yeah,
the
the
thing,
gasp and the
then the thing jumps at him. Yeah, this is you know, so we've been doing this podcast for a year and a bit, and it's been fun because everybody comes at it with such different like even so we've done this prompt before.
Mhm.
No spoilers, but like we've done the prompt, and I just dropped everything in my house, and totally different. They're like a totally different story than we did
Yeah.
the last time, right? So it's just everybody comes at it with their own experience, their own ideas. So it's pretty cool how that happens, right? That we can take the same idea, it's a totally different thing, right? So
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun getting to see everybody's take on it because you know, surprising no one, people are different. Believe it or not, everyone's different. Oh man. But it's also like, you know, where people's influences and stuff come from. Like you mentioned off the top that you're, you know, you're a fan. You're a big fan of everything. And it's like, well, that's gonna color the type of work that you're gonna do based on what you take in, right? So it's always interesting to see where people are coming from with all this stuff.
Yeah, I you know, I love a J.H. Williams and those crazy art styles, you know, and layouts and all that stuff. But I tend to go back to like a Sean Phillips for, you know, because his storytelling is so consistent and so clear, but that's rectangles, right? Like it's real straightforward, you know, and that's it. And he's had some different eras where he's done it a little differently. But like just going to like, you know, the criminal stuff recently, and even like Sleeper that he did with Ed Brubaker back in the day, and he's just real consistent and like really good. And when I see things and it's like, if I could draw, like that's what I wish I could draw like. If it could look like a Sean Phillips drawing every time, I'd be psyched. Because it's just like he's so consistent and so great. So And I have a couple. I think I've got 2 of his art pages because I also collect those on the side. Um, much to the chagrin of my family, they're all over the house. But I've got I got a Michael Lark on the wall right up here,
Oh wow.
and from Gotham Central, and yeah, it's my I don't collect records. I collect art because I think records would take over my life. But
That's fair.
my friends are like, hey, do you have any records? Like, I can't get a record player at 30, $40 a pop. I would go broke.
Yeah.
But
it's like just enough to be dangerous, where
it's
art's a little
way
more
too,
prohibitive, right? It's like I need to
that's the
want it.
thing. It's like, yeah, no, the artwork's a little more expensive than that. So it slows me down, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I got a, this today in the mail. It's a Jack
nice.
Knight Starman from
Hold on.
Justin Madsen, who's like an
I'm
indie
gonna
artist.
maximize that.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I just got this today. And he is a great indie artist who I met at SBX in 2005. And I have an eBay thing set up for Starman stuff. And it was like, hey, new art. I was like, oh, I'll buy that. I think it was $50. Like, it's great. Like, love supporting artists and buying cool art, and love Starman. So there you go. That was an easy 1, 2, 3. Before I got out of bed, I was like, well, that'll be here next week. There you go.
Yeah, one thing I've always wanted to do, I always see people doing it at conventions, and it's hard to justify now because I'm paying artists to do my own stuff. But but one thing I've always wanted to do is I always see people and they come with their sketchbooks, like their sketchbooks of other people's stuff. So they'll go to a convention, they'll be like, "You draw in my sketchbook," and then they just like. I've had people like flip through and they're just like, oh, here's a Jim Lee, here's a whatever, here's a it's just like, that's amazing that you just have this like collection of like, just incredible artists, one after another. And it's just something I never did. And now I feel like if I'm going to go to an artist, especially, I'm like wearing my hat, I'm like, hey, I have a job for you. And they're like, oh, cool. And it's like, oh no, it's for you to draw in my sketchbook. There might be like some disappointment, but
can you draw Hellboy for me? Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I thought you were going to let me do a cover or something, but okay.
Yeah.
Depends who it is. Depends on what level they're at. They might just be like, no, but
I got a Greg Smallwood, a little, Golden Age Sandman. He was doing like, it was for a charity thing. They're these tiny little I don't know, it's 3x4 or something, these little black and white commissions, and so he was like, raising money for someone, and this was probably, I don't know, almost 10 years ago. And so I've got, it's on my desk at work, and it's like the coolest little, and I said, oh, what do you think of the Golden Age Sandman? He's like, I love the Golden Age Sandman. And this was before all the work he's done with Tom King and all that. Like, he was just like a guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I look at it every day. I'm like, yep, I've got that. I can't afford anything he does now, but that I think was $20. Like, that was $20 10 years ago. And
amazing.
It's cool.
You never know. Go through Artist Alley and buy that stuff,
Oh, I love, that's it. That's so, I always feel, you feel bad when people have stuff and you're like, that's not for me. That's not for me. But doing the work, that's what this is. Like, it's so fun, and people are so talented, and that's this Justin Madsen. Like, he had a little, I wish I still had it, but it's this little self-published black and white comic with like really thick black ink lines, and it had like plastic brads punched in it. So it was like this little bound book. I think he had 2 of them at the time, and they were like $10 a piece, and they were so cool. And I've lost track of them, but so when this came up again, I was like, I remember that guy. Absolutely. Like, I'll, whatever you got, like, and Starman. Yes. So, I'm always happy to throw money at artists who are working, and
as much as you can. Like, it's a tough gig, right? So especially when you're just starting out, majority of people are doing the day job as well, right? So so it's just there's a lot of conversation about like comics are expensive and this and that, and it's like, they are, but so is paper. Like, the problem is like comics are expensive. So yes, unfortunately they're $4, they're $5, but or not even $4. I think they start at $5, but
pretty much, but
it's like,
I mean, the internet's expensive, and computers are expensive, and I mean, nothing's cheap anymore. So Yeah,
right?
it's just the fact, and you know, like there's so many. You're so successful with Kickstarter and all that, and I don't have room for physical comics anymore. Like I just don't. Like I've got these
I hear you.
bookshelves
Yep.
behind me. Like this is my collection.
Yep.
I used to have a room, and now my kids have 2 separate bedrooms, and this is my. I've got these bookshelves, and a couple more over under here, but you know, so I get digital downloads of everything. Like, what do you got? You know,
Yep.
and if it's you know, some of your early ones were not that many pages, but it's like it's a $5 for 20 pages. Like, absolutely. Like, yeah,
Yep.
you've earned it. It's $5 is $5. It's a coffee, you know, like whatever. Like that's you know, it's not a lot. I don't want to spend $5 on some crappy Avengers comic, but like a comic you and your friend made, like absolutely, you know. So
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about Kickstarter and that, and where I can't buy the books anymore for, you know, when, because they're $40 sometimes when they print them, and it's like that's so, for these big things, it's like,
Yeah.
I think it's neat. I don't even know that I'm gonna like it. I don't want to spend $50 on this book I'm gonna give away someday. Like,
Yeah.
I'll get the download for 20. Like, give me the PDF for $20. Like, I'm happy to. I've got a whole drive full of books I haven't read yet, but someday I
Likewise.
will, because
Yeah.
they accumulate because they're cool, you know. And it's
Yeah.
you know, anything that you can turn around and pay an artist, or someone else can do that, or get the books printed, and I don't
Yeah.
know. I think the collaborative part of all of this, from the creators to even the readers, is really cool. And you know, it's such a weird medium that exists almost out of sheer will, you know, like
That's certainly it, right? Like it's just like
comic
again,
shops barely survive, but they go because, you know, you just went and toured a bunch of them around
yep.
Canada, and like, yeah, I'm going to a new city. Give me 3 comic shops to visit. Like, I want to find a cool one. Like, I want to find a store that has something I've never read before. Like,
Yeah. Well, this is the
you
thing,
know,
right? It's the
yeah,
community. Like it's the fun of it. It's
yeah,
the let's check out how you do that. So that's been you mentioned the like roadshow thing I've been doing. So yeah, I've been going all across Ontario. I did a 3 stops in Vegas too because I was on vacation. But yeah, it's seeing how everyone does it a little differently
yeah,
and seeing what they do. And my timing for things has always been awful. But for this, I feel like for comics, like uh, with everything like Pesto Comics and stuff taking off, like the timing I feel like is very serendipitous because comic shops seem to be doing as well as they've been doing in very,
it's
very long.
I
Right.
don't get it, but yeah, they are, which is
Yeah, they're
great.
having
Ride
this
the wave.
weird boom period, right? So
They
it's
really
just like,
are.
oh my god, like it's so good. Like because it was the Absolute stuff last year that really took off, or
Mhm.
the year before. Now it's like a couple of years. But it was like Absolute brought people in, and it's like people got Absolute, and they're like, okay, cool, I like comics. What else is there?
Right.
And now they're starting to buy the indie stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, I'm an indie, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and the timing hasn't been better, but it's been great going into shops and seeing them thriving and seeing there's actually like people in there and they're talking and they're buying books and they're
Yeah.
like enjoying the vibe of the comic shop, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think you got to credit you got to credit Gen Z a bit, which I hate to do because they like to make fun of everyone else, but I'm gonna credit them anyway.
Are these paper? What are these comics? That's so retro. It's like, cool. They're $5 now. Buy 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But at
Right.
least they're buying 3 of them. Where I feel like my generation, we all went like, oh, that's expensive. I'm gonna go digital,
Yeah.
and like the millennials were like kind of pulled away. And
Yeah.
it's like now it's like no, Gen Z's like no, we want to own our stuff. Like they saw the mistake we made with
Yeah.
because again Netflix was new and all this stuff was we had DVDs and tapes and
Yeah.
right. So we understood ownership. So it was like yeah, but imagine your whole collection was a click away. So that was cool for us. But
Yeah.
for them, it's like they've seen the bad end of it, where it's like
Right.
you don't own that movie anymore. Like what?
Oh
But
yeah, that service went out of business, and now
yeah,
all the money you spent is gone. Yeah.
right.
No,
Like we were prepared for that, but they were. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a seeing the other end of it. Now they seem to be going more physical media, so it seems to be helping comics because now they're like, yeah,
yeah, it's awesome.
I want
Yeah,
it in my hands. Right?
no, it's great. Yeah, I went through the you know, the lunar catalog. I do that, you know, now that previews isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But that's what I did. You know, I was trained to do this on you know, I was on the the Warren Ellis forum 25 years ago
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
you know, Chip Zdarsky and Matt Fraction, you know, and all them, and it was like pre-order your books, like pre-order.
Yeah.
And I have been doing, I moved away from a city 3 years ago, and we have like Newbury Comics, which is like it's a regional thing in New England. It's like a record store with comics.
Nice. Yeah.
And it's cool, but like there aren't that many of them, and that's the closest one, and they don't, I mean, the comics are beat to shit, and
Sure.
because they don't really take care of them, but like you can
Yeah.
get stuff sometimes. But so I've been doing mail order stuff through like Discount Comic Book Service since
Oh, nice.
03.
Nice.
Every month I go through the catalog, I see what's in there. I'm my own retailer basically, right? Like I fill out the stuff. And so I went through the thing, and I was like, Pesto Comics, I know Pesto Comics. And it's like, it's so, and that's that, they used to call it the back of the book. Like the back of the catalog was like all like the indie stuff, and like Lunar is mostly indie stuff, and it's DC and Image, but like all that other stuff is Mad Cave and Pesto and all that. Like it's so cool. Like getting in there is massive, and any way you can get in the hands of people, it's so cool. It's really
it's a dream come true. It's a dream come true, and then we did really well, which was even better. But
not only are you there, but people are like, "Oh, I want to read that." It's like how that's a miracle. Like how did you do that? Like how do you?
I don't know.
It's amazing. Do you have 5,000 pre-orders or something like
just
that?
Under 5,000. Yeah, we're
like crazy,
a hair shy of it. But I have to overprint that for damages and stuff, so I printed over 5,000. Yeah,
that's
just paid the printer today, so it's happening.
No, that's amazing. It's amazing. Like it, the self, like when way back then it was like Oni Press was like nothing, it was like, because once they put out that Greg Rucka like Whiteout, like that was like, oh, now they're a thing, like now they have a book that people want to read. It's like, and then a million other things came out of that, but like you got to start where you start, and it's awesome.
Yeah, no, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, it's like if I'm looking ahead at like what things could be, I feel like the way Mad Cave did things is like a great example, right? Like you had like Mark London starting with his books and his like Battle Cats and whatever, and then it just kind of grew, right? Like, okay, let's do this book. Now they're doing like licensed stuff, and actually they just had like a huge hit with one of my buddies. We had him on the show, James Edward Clark, who did we drew Bluey together, and his book is doing incredible with Fred Kennedy. The Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre.
Oh, that okay, great.
Yeah. So they're from from here. Like James is like in my neighborhood.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then Fred's like radio royalty or whatever around here. But but he's they're doing like so well. Like it's insane, and it's like well deserved. But it came from a publisher that was that started the same way I started. Like they started very slowly with one person and kind of built and built and built. And now they're this, and a lot of people that I work with went through Mad Cave at some point. Right. So they've been great at like, cause Image is great and all that. Like Image is like, but Image is, it's like Marvel DC Image or DC Marvel Image, whatever order you want to put them in. But Image is 3. Like that's like a huge publisher.
It's
so
different,
it's like, right. So like they're not gonna necessarily take you unless you've already like, oh, you're done. You're run on Batman chip, right? Now do a book with us.
Well, that's what they used to say, right? Like what's your like parentheses book? Like what goes between in the middle of your name? Like you had to have something you worked on for us to sell. That dork book, which is some new thing. It's like the D Orc, which is a huge hit for them, but like you got to bring them something that could marketable. And no, Mad Cave, like all those things, like in that I go through that catalog. What's it called? Next Phase, I think, is the catalog.
Yes,
something
I
like that.
Because I'm in it, but
I go through it every month, and then that's why I saw Pesto. But it's like, is that the Mad Cave have anything I think I need to read? And when I make a list, and because I got to see what my budget is of what the books.
You make the list, and then you cut from the list the theme.
I do that, and then I go right into Discount Comic Book Service, and I fill up when they update the new catalog. Like I've got a whole system, but you got to go through and do your work there. But small publishers that actually continue to put books out is really cool. So many have come and gone, and but you gotta. You can't chase the fame, and sometimes they chase the fame.
I think that's it. Yeah. Like who was it? Aftershock, right? Was a big one that like they got too big for their britches, right? Like if
Yeah.
they were waiting for somebody to license their movie and it never
Right.
happened, right?
Yeah. And,
And
that's a big, because they had some real, like working name people who were working on Batwoman and, all these different things. And
yeah,
then they just kind of,
they
they're
had
not
some
a
really
thing. They
big
went out of
books.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was that they were trying to again, I don't know, but I I think they were just trying like they had quite a slate. Like they had so many books out there at once, and
Yeah.
like you said, like with big names, so they were probably taking a good commission for the work they were doing, and it was just. And then I think Diamond also helped like really put the last nail in the coffin there
Yeah.
with everything that was happening there. But yeah, like it's slow and steady. That's the
Yeah.
answer, right? So, yeah, even with me, it's like this year we got From Parts Unknown, and then Snip is next in the
Yeah.
direct market. And I'm using I'm still on Kickstarter, and
Yeah.
Kickstarter is like the backbone for everything that hits the direct market because, frankly, they're two different audiences. Like somebody who's going to pay $20 for a comic isn't the same person who's going to pay the $5 for a comic, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting approach. I think they were like at least Prana thought so, which was good. That it's
Yeah,
like I'm
no,
gonna do both.
and I think having the Kickstarter success shows that you have the big thing is the follow through, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't support a lot of stuff on there because I've been burned a bunch, like
likewise. Yeah,
and like when I see some, it's like, oh, I've supported 400 projects. It's like, I don't know, like that's a lot of projects. Like how many of them came through? And then the answer is not a lot of them, like,
yeah,
but you got to have people that like and it's all expectations, right? It's like the script is done, the art is almost done, we need to pay to print.
yes,
That's not, I gotta go pay my artist, because paying an artist is you got to do it, but that's a whole different issue. Like
yeah,
that's, you
exactly.
don't have pages in hand, you've got that's the hard work, right? Like scripts are great,
Yeah,
but it doesn't, I'm nowhere good with my scripts. So having those things and being able to produce something, and Jason McNamara is a friend of mine, and he's had some good
yeah,
experience with Kickstarter, and it's that kind of thing of like I think like you, like my work is done, shepherd it the rest of the way. All you're doing is paying for printing,
yeah,
or like, and that's it. Like we're gonna do that. The book is done. We need your help to get it out to people, and that's different
yeah,
than
exactly.
we're hoping this is done in the next 8 months. It's like, it shouldn't
Yeah,
take 8 months to do this. Like it shouldn't. You should have the book done already.
yeah,
So
exactly. Like
yeah,
you need to have some skin in the game in the
yeah,
sense of like, and I always say that it's like, yeah, I always say just do it, like just go do it, but you have to realize part of that is like, you either have to make very good friends with an artist, and I may say
right.
very good because I'm very good friends with Roberto, and I still make sure to pay him, but
Yeah,
right,
right.
like you got to make like either it's like your best friend you grew up with that's willing to draw for free, or you got to be willing to pay,
Right.
right? So and that's just the part of it, and that's what I
Yeah.
mean by having skin in the game is you should have a book more or less done before you ever launch the Kickstarter, right?
Right.
Like I could technically launch my Kickstarter today. I have two books waiting to just hit the button, but they're not done. So I'm waiting for pages and I'm pushing back the start date because I'd want them to be in hand,
Yeah.
right? At least the art. Sometimes I'll usually I'm the holdup with the lettering, which again, hiring out the lettering for that reason. But at least like the book will be done, right?
Yeah. I
Like
mean, you could pull a couple all-nighters and get that done,
yeah,
if you
right,
needed
exactly. Like
to
the
hit a
lettering is
deadline,
not
but
the
that's
thing
not
that will hold us up, right?
right.
But generally speaking, like everything else, like the production of the book is more or less complete.
Yeah.
So yeah, like and that's all on you now. So you don't know that you're going to get that money back. So you're taking a risk. You're taking a gamble
Oh,
on
absolutely.
yourself,
Yeah,
right?
and that, I know it. I'm sure. I mean, you have actual books out, so it's different for you. But people say, "Oh, do you make?" It's like, no. The thing, like my band, I manage I'm a co-founder of a porch fest in my town, and I do all the booking of all the bands, and I'm in the hole. It's been
Yeah,
5 years, and like I don't make any money, and sometimes I get a little reimbursement. I don't do it for the money. I do it so that some band has a place to play. Like I think it's really
yeah,
fun, and it's all. But like, you're not doing it for the fame. You're not doing it for the money, because there is no money. But you hope, if I break even and I put on a cool thing, isn't that awesome? Like you put a
yeah,
comic out and maybe you break even, like that's cool. I
yeah.
never thought that would ever happen.
Well, no,
So
that's exactly, especially when you're talking
yeah.
about comics, man. Like, yeah, music's the
Mhm.
same. Like, I got a couple friends who are musicians and that too, and the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like, yeah, like we do it because for the love of it, right? Like, if I can
Right.
get my stuff paid for, that's a win.
Yeah.
So same with the comics. Like, I am profitable on, and by profitable, I'm really saying break even plus a few bucks plus a coffee, right? And
Right.
and I'm break even on 2 books, I think. Like, and I've done 12. So
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
that's just the truth of it. Like, I've
Right.
so that thank goodness for this direct market thing. I may one day make a profit, but like I can tell you, even with the 5,000 copies of this book that I sold, still not profitable, right? Like, I
Yeah.
still I still have to wait for the trade and all that stuff to come out, and then
Right.
hopefully by then I'm in a profitable space. So now the first book came out in 2024 on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that? Right? Are you comfortable with the idea that
Yeah.
maybe in
It's going to be years
2027,
and years and years. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So and that's just the truth of it. And then if you want to get, so I've had a lot of people asking lately too, like, oh, like how did you get in the direct market? And it's like, because I have a slate, right? Like, I don't just have the one book that, oh, issue one
Right.
comes out and then we don't know when issue two is coming out. Like, no,
Right.
I every month there will be something,
Right.
which means a lot of front loading on my end,
Right.
which means a lot
And
of
you've
books
been
had to
doing
be
the
done,
work for years. And yeah, no, it's all part of that. Like, yeah,
right?
it's yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a ton of risk and it's a ton of like delayed satisfaction by like years, not weeks or months, or it's like you don't know if this money's coming back at all, and if it does, it's coming in 2 to 3 years. Are you
Right.
okay with that?
Awesome. Here's the check I got. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
right.
yeah. Right.
So especially on Kickstarter, because Kickstarter is very transparent in the sense of like you see how much they've raised, right? But you don't see how much they've spent.
Right.
So and it's most of it, if not all of it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like
Or they raised a ton and the book never comes out. You know,
that.
like they.
So those ones, yeah, those ones kill me. And like, there's been examples of people who like, they like run away with the money, and they're like, yeah, but I like ran into some trouble. It's like, cool, dude, but
Yeah. There's one book. It was the guy had a lot of he had a book at Image, and then the book he was putting out like a deluxe hardcover
Mhm.
anthology kind of thing, and he worked at DC a bunch, and he worked at Marvel, and he raised so much money, and the book still he just started posting like updates of you will probably see it this year, but I think it's been 10 years, like it's
Oh my
been
god.
forever, and like I won't buy it. I'm not buying another one of his books. Like I don't even want the book at this point. Like it's a bummer, it's like, what do you
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
I support it. Like I supported it, not that I deserve anything, but it's like I did buy something from you, and then
yeah.
you disappeared forever, and then it's like, oh my, and so I'm glad he's communicating now, but I haven't bought one of his creator-owned stuff since then. And when he pops up, he's like, oh, I've got this new book. It's like I don't
Nope.
even want to follow you online. Like I don't want to.
Yeah,
It's lame. Like
the
it's
trust is
like
broken, right?
yeah, exactly. You feel like you got ripped off, and it's like this
Yep.
should be easy. It should be I you said
Communicate.
you're selling something and I bought it and you haven't delivered it and it's been 10 years. So
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
it's really and he's and it was like, oh, this and the TV show got optioned and like nothing ever came of it. And like who knows where this money went, but like
Yeah.
I think he's got to eat the money and just put it out. And it's like, okay, well, when this
Yeah, and that's
comes
it.
in the mail, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, but we'll find out. And but
Yeah, that's just
yeah,
it though. I think people like they underestimate. It's like, oh, like okay, like you can set your goals in that, and usually the goal isn't actually the number you need to
yeah,
cover all your costs. And people are like, whoa, but I didn't like this is going to be out of pocket. It's like, yeah, right.
right.
Like that's how this works. You don't make money on the first go. You make money on the fifth and the sixth go, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just. I'm still waiting for this part where I make all this money. Right.
Right. Yeah. Well, you got to show, you have to build a relationship with your customers, basically, right?
Well,
Like
and that's
you
it,
got to,
right?
yeah.
And you build that trust and you show them like, not only can I deliver on my promises, but you will enjoy what I put out as
And
well,
the books
right?
are good, right? Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that whole nother thing. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know that market. I don't know how. I mean, I've watched your stuff about setting up the videos and all. You do all this. The market is crazy over there. The money that people throw at stuff, and it's like to get weird looking prints that aren't even that good. It's like it's like FOMO. Like
Yeah.
they're afraid they're gonna miss. And it's like, do you even like comics? Like some of the stuff is like not comic based, but they want it. And so,
Yeah.
so like I appreciate the, you know, the smaller stuff, like, you know, your books where it's like, here's a single issue of number 3 of 5, it's coming out and here's what we're doing. And this is, and it's like that stuff is worthwhile. And, you know, and it's baby steps to get to the direct market, and that's comic shops. And that's, you're doing the work, man. It's really admirable.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I swear I didn't have you on just to say nice things to me, but
I sent it to you in advance. I was like, listen, it's true. Like it, because you know, you need people, like you got to see that it pays off to some extent of like, even if, you know, 5,000 is almost 5,000 is a lot. But you know, like when my, you know, it's been 5 years since we put on we've put out 2 albums as a, you know, reunited band, and
nice.
Our band's Grasshopper Green. But it's been 5 years since we put out the last one. And like, I hope people listen to it. I don't know if they do. Like, it's a weird thing of like, it's very intimate to like write these songs and do all these things. And like, I like people to see it or to hear it. I'm really uncomfortable performing it. Like it's weird to be on stage and have people stare at you. Like it's so, it's like, I'm doing something. Oh, you're watching me. But when somebody, you know, likes your song, it's like, oh, that's awesome. Like good. Like that's why I wrote it. Like I was hoping, that you would, or I hope you get out of it what I get out of it, basically. Cause I don't know what other people's expectations are, but, you know, you write for yourself and hope the audience comes.
That's it. That's the only way to do it.
Right.
If you try to capture the market, like it's gonna come. It
never works. Yeah.
Yeah. Like people are gonna smell that.
Yeah. And it stinks. Like you could see it, right? You see the. Yeah.
Yeah. As someone who wrote like Pro Wrestling Vampires and Giant Naked Ladies, I still made sure to make it like my story. It's silly. It's silly as hell. But like that's the thing though. I'm a silly person. So so it's still me. But that's the thing, right? Like if I were just like, oh, what's cool right now? I'm gonna do that. Like, oh, it would just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I you know, you have to tell the stories that speak to you. So
yeah, and especially with comics, like, and I mean, it's a pretty quick process, but you're still maybe 6 months behind whatever that thing was.
Yeah,
you know, like, and so you're riding the wave of, you know, and there was something that Bendis wrote in one of his script books where it's like, write what you want to read because otherwise you have something that no one wants, including you.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like like, don't write something you don't care about because just to do it, because if nobody cares and you don't care, like, what's the point? So, yeah, you just gotta.
And it's like it's an investment. It's an investment. Sorry, just quickly muting Roberto. He's got a guess.
Yeah, I had to warn mine. Please get ready for bed, and I'll see you later. But
yeah, I think Roberto's children are at an age where that those instructions fall on deaf ears.
Yeah,
like, no, we're coming. It's time. But yeah, it's like you said, it's a quick turnaround to get a comic made, but it's still like months of your life, right?
Yeah.
So like if you're doing something that you're not interested in, like why are you doing it? Like
I can't even imagine, you know, like going
there are
through the
quicker ways
motions
to
on
make
something.
money. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or not make money, right? Like
yes. Right.
Right. Like
it's just I always tell folks because it's like I had someone, it was one of the comments on one of my shorts where I said more or less that I go, there are easier ways to make money. Like if you're making comics solely to make money, go do something else.
Yeah.
And I usually, you know, I try to be positive on my socials and stuff, but sometimes I use that. I start with a negative and try to make it a positive thing. But that one, I guess, hit negative with this one guy, and it's like, don't gatekeep. I'm not gatekeeping.
Oh boy.
I'm saying,
you know, you are free to make stuff that nobody wants anytime you want. Like, what do you mean you don't gatekeep? I can only have a career making crap that nobody's interested in. Like, well, I guess, like,
if your point is to, like, you can, if you just want to make money, like if you're just if you hate comics but you think there's money in it, like it was a fair warning. There isn't. There's no money here.
Yeah, no, I mean how many times have we seen that, right? With like Hollywood and like that, what, Aliens and Cowboys, they put out like that $5. I remember the stack of $5 trades of this, like, you know, legendary comic thing, and it's like this it's a bad comic, but it was $5. So they're handing it at the store, they're handing them out. It's like, this is the next thing. It's like, nobody wants this.
Yeah.
Like I hope the artist got paid, but like, I
Yeah.
don't know. This is your passion project. Like, I don't think so. I think this is you could smell a movie script that was turned into a comic script like really easily. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They usually have the nice big booth at one of the conventions, right?
Oh yeah.
With Celebrity X and their new comic.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you didn't want this to be a comic.
No, you're
you
hoping
just couldn't get movie funding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your pitch. It's your pitch in comic form.
It's a pitch. Yeah, look at it's a 20-page pitch for you want to see what happens? You're gonna have to buy my movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, because and you know that because there are people who like have like who am I thinking? Minor Threats. Was it Patton Oswalt?
Oh, Pat. Yeah, and Jordan. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like they're an example of people who they did it because they like comics. Like they are still here. They're still making comics. Right?
They're still making them, and you can tell like they're fans of stuff, right? Like you can when you read those books, it's like this is everything. Like this is a little bit of lots of weird stuff, and they it's such a fun book. Like I picked up a bunch of them on Hoopla and just kind of like blew through them, and they they're nuts. They're just the silliest, like goofiest, but they're well drawn and great coloring and great lettering, and like they're great comics, and by comic famous comics nerds. Like that's what you want, right?
Yeah, like they're truly of the culture. Like they're here to contribute to it. I actually found out about them by accident. I was waiting for the DC Absolute announcement at San Diego, and the trick there is like they don't clear the room, so you go to an earlier panel and you sit.
Oh,
and you camp out and you wait for the next one, and then it was the Minor Threats one. And then I didn't realize how early I got there. And then it was the Artemis one, which is very timely for today. So talking about the whole NASA space mission and stuff, which like I didn't even know I walked into, but it was good because I got to sit right in front for the DC one. But but it was cool. Like I had no idea about Minor Threats and all this stuff, and seeing that like no, like it was a legitimate thing. Like I thought again, like oh, here's another celebrity book. I'm like, they're gonna come, they're gonna do their one hit, they're gonna be like, how much money did it make? $1,000? Never mind, I'm never doing this again. Which is what seems to happen most of the time. But they're like,
it happens a lot,
right? They're like, no, we just want to tell our stories. Like, who was it? Ronda Rousey was at the last convention I was at. Like, we'll see if she ever has a book again. I doubt it.
Did that come out? I don't even. Yeah, no. It's so. I love those two-headed nerd episodes where they force themselves to read like celebrity comics, and it's like, oh, they're as bad as you imagine. Like,
because they're not
Halle Berry comic, like
right. And I guess the idea is like, oh, they like paired up with a writer who knows comics. It's like sure, but like that person's there collecting their paycheck.
Oh yeah, right? No, it's work, right? It's work. Yeah, no,
like I don't blame those people I don't blame anybody involved for following through with it. But
no, I remember there's that publisher Z2, and they did a book with what's his name, Jim from Jimmy Eat World, like the singer and guitarist, and it was about like one of their videos, and Alex Packnadel, who's a great writer, like scripted it, like did all the stuff, and like he has never talked about it. It does not come up. I got a copy of it. Like it's not a great book, and it's just one of those things. Like I don't know if Jim is a fan of comics. Like I don't know how that works. If somebody pitched it to him, but it's like I hope Alex was paid money.
Yeah,
it was a good
everybody
amount
ate that month because they
right. Like as bad as some comics are, I hope people get paid. Like I think that's really important. But you see this stuff and it's like that is like vanity project, and and then you get Minor Threats and it's like it's goofy as all hell. Like it's all this you can see all the influences, but they're not hung on it too much. Like it's like, oh, that's a little of this guy and a little of that guy, and like she's a little bit of this person, a little bit of that, and it's great. It's a really fun project. And then they have all these like they let other people work on the books and
they built like a full universe now of it.
There's so many books. Yeah, it's really fun, and I love that they do that, and I love that Patton's a big fan, and I mean he's like the nerd of all nerds, and like right? It's fun, watching him for decades, and he's a big goofball and he loves it. He's serious about this stuff, and that you don't want to
I
be
think that's exactly it.
a serious person, but you want to have like integrity about it. And I think he's got integrity about it. And you don't want no shortcuts. It's hard work and it's worthy work when the books are good. I mean, I'm watching Roberto do this art and I'm like, yeah, even the layout, if the layout was it, I would have been like, it looked good. It was good. And now like the watching him, do the specific figure work and, cover up the blue lines. It's like, oh, it's so good. It's real good. Yeah. Really
And it's people come in and they're like, I have an idea. Go make it happen for me. And it's like that versus the people who are like, no, like I'm a fan of the medium and I want a story that belongs in this medium.
Yeah.
It's not my failed movie script as comic.
Right. Well, and that's, like circling back to the AI thing, like that's that thing of like, oh, I want to see this, and it's like, you can do that, but like, they don't look right. And you can tell when somebody took a shortcut and you can tell when it's, the lines on this wall don't match up, like you can see that like, it's a picture of what you're thinking of. It's not meticulously drawn, like nobody went through and did it, but it's got all the cross hatching and all the stuff, and like you can see it, and it's so interesting how that there's so many telltale signs where it's just like it doesn't know. It's like this is what you want, right? And I just think those even with no artistic ability, those kind of shortcuts, like I can't do it. I can't go, because I could, right? Like I could say this is what this panel looks like and this is what this one looks like, and like move them into a rectangle and print it out, and it's like you can do that, but
that's like it's a soulless activity.
It's a little soulless. So yeah, collaborating is fun. And the same thing with like writing music and all the AI bands and stuff. And I had a thing where I played with it a little bit and put a couple things into for lyrics, and they just came out so canned and so like, because it is, right? It's like, it's just, what do you think of this? It's like, I don't like that. All right, I'll stick to the music.
I think what's good about it, it's and this is like a stretch, so forgive me, but I think what's good about all this AI stuff is it's raised the bar, because before you used to be able to get away with just making generic crap.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was enough. Like if you could mimic something close enough, like you might be able to break in and you might be able to like make something happen, and that would like take a spot from someone who might have a vision and might actually be able to build and grow and become someone special. But because you were a really good mimic and you could do your best version of Twilight that's not Twilight or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to get a spot at the table. Now it's like, well, we don't need you, we have AI. So you gotta come in and you have to be truly original and truly different. And I say all this with a bit of like concern for myself, because I worry sometimes that I'm not that person, but it's that feeling too that I think helps drive you, right? That you're always fighting to be original and be a little different, right?
Well, like even, I mean, not tooting my own horn, I'm doing this just to do it. You're doing this to do it. Like Roberto's doing all the work over there, making some beautiful artwork over there,
making us look good.
Making us look good. But it's like, it's because we are fans of the medium, and we appreciate the talent that goes into it and the time, and like that's what you got to do. And I think shortcuts are there's other ways to do it. Like I think about like the the taking photograph, like you can make a comic any way you want. You could take still photos that someone else took and edit them. And I mean, we had that all through the 2000s and Image, where you have all these like, basically photorealistic, but like edited photos turned into comic pages. And like, it's still a comic. Like that's more of a comic than like a computer making it. But like, it's not really, is it artwork? Like, yeah, but like, what are we doing? Like, like there's a little bit of like, but that's a way to do it. It's just, it's not the full process, but there's different ways to do all this stuff. And I think your intention is a big thing. If your thinking is, I need a shortcut, like the shortcuts, that's not the work. Like that's
exactly.
not, you're not going to get, why do it if you didn't want the shortcut? Completing the comic isn't the task. Is what good is it if you didn't figure it out? Like you got to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly, right. And again, like there will be some good that comes from the tools that come from, like, again, I use it for the dictation, like cutting out backgrounds on photos and stuff. Cool. I do it for the thumbnails. It's like nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to like I used to do the lasso and all that. Now I don't have to do the
Yeah,
lasso.
and the
Right?
dictation is the biggest, right? And the I think the translation stuff is so amazing, even because there's so many artists that are from different places, and where
Yeah.
I speak English, and that's all I got. But there's this really talented artist in South America who speaks Portuguese and pretty good English,
Yeah.
and as a talented artist, or so, like, I got to meet them where they are. So, like, does this translation work? Like, can we do this? Like, how do you do that? Like, you got to communicate. But like, I don't, I'm not gonna, I can't sit there with a dictionary and say
Yeah.
translate my, like, what good would that be?
Well, and that's it, right?
you know,
Like so again, there's uses for all of it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. It's finding that line of, well, you could use it for this and not for that, right? But again, it's not even a matter of you can or you can't. It's just like, are you even going to feel any sense of pride or of ownership of something that you prompted into existence?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's an idea I had and then someone made it. It's the same as these vanity celebrity comics,
Yeah.
right? They said, "Hey,
Yeah.
comic guy, here's my idea," and then it comes out and it doesn't hit, and then they're like,
Yeah.
"You're
A writer
ruining it."
goes in another room and is like, all right, how do I turn this into that thing? Like, the
Yeah,
writer is the prompt machine, right?
yeah,
Is the
yeah,
AI.
right?
It's the you've told me what you want. I have to figure out how to tell an artist what that should look like, and then we figure it out and say, what do you think? And look what this thing I made. Like, at least
Yeah,
a person did it.
right.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept of just like, because if it was something they were proud of or something they felt some ownership over, they would continue to push it and continue doing it. It would be a part of their thing that they do, right? But it's like, oh, like I had the idea and somebody followed through with it and then it happened, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
that's AI, right? Like, are you just gonna be like, write me a story about pirates, and then they're like, here's your pirate story, and it's like, cool. Like, now what?
Yeah.
Like, do you
Right. What do
feel
you do with it
anything?
now? Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
again, it's like the only thing is like the cynical nature of it is like if you're trying to make money on it. But again, like, look somewhere else, man. There's other places to make money. Although again, there's always going to be the people that will, yeah, they're going to try to like slip it by and like try to do their AI comic and stuff, and that's a bit frustrating because it's like you're taking the space of people who can. Like, there's a problem on Kickstarter with that right now,
Mhm.
where there's like the cover mills and stuff where it's like, oh, we have covers A through X, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's just like AI generated images. It's like, get out of here. Like, like, you are taking up like
Yeah.
oxygen from projects that deserve some funding.
Yeah.
Because like I could just take your image and prompt it for myself in whatever color, position, whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't need you at this point. I also have access to the same AI.
Right. Well, yeah. And I saw there was a woman on Instagram who on her Etsy page, she takes AR, like, people who do sell AI made art. She takes it and then recreates it physically and
Nice.
then sells it. And
Yeah,
so she's like, I'm hoping they sue me, because who owns it? They don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you know what I mean? And so she's like, we'll see what happens. But like, I think this is really fun. Like, whatever the thing is, she'll use her art, her supplies to make that same thing, but physically, and have it exist in reality where she did it. And it's like, no, I made it. Like, it's my copyright. Like, and I just saw that today. It's like, that's such an interesting, like, we'll see who's got the
Yeah.
better lawyer, like,
Yeah.
who owns
That's-
this? Like,
That's hilarious. I love that.
yeah, it was very like that kind of punk rock of like, come get me. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, if I get sued, I get sued, but at least
Yeah,
we're going
like,
to talk about it.
You said nobody owns anything. Cool. That goes both
Right.
ways, right?
I know, and I love they downloaded our thing. It's like, yeah, you took it from everyone, and now now they're downloading it from you. You don't like that, yeah?
Right?
No,
Like,
it's a crazy time for that stuff.
oh, that's so funny. Yeah. But again, I think it's like every other tech thing that's happened. Like, again, things will like, there are certain things that came out of it that'll persist, but for the most part, I think it seems like it's on the downtrend, especially when they're going to start saying, okay, like, free time's over. If you want to prompt this, you got to pay X amount. Like,
I think it's Adobe, where it's like $70 a month now for some. I saw some subscription thing, and I don't pay for any of them, but that,
yeah,
some people need it to live, and now that's going to be a
right.
how do they afford that?
Yeah, I use Affinity, but I'm like
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
one of those people that are ew Affinity. What's wrong with you? But that's me.
yeah. Yeah, someone's got to use it.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, right. Like it's that it's same thing's gonna happen with the AI stuff because like they have to match these valuations they've gotten.
yeah,
Right. So how they're gonna do that? The paywall is gonna come up any day now. So your comic that you've been prompting for free suddenly is
yeah,
gonna cost you nearly as much as it costs to just hire a damn artist. Except no,
right.
now nobody wants to work with you because you tried to sell your AI comic book.
Yeah.
So right, like I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like
No, it's a weird thing, and the technology is just where it is, and I can't remember what. I don't think I would say it the name anyways, but there was a book that I think Image put out in the aughts, and it was like very computer generated, and like it was just stiff figures, and like it wasn't a drawn, and even back then because there weren't digital comics then, like it was
yeah.
just like, but it was computer generated and it looked very fake and very like, but like they were making it to, here's the story, and I don't think the story was that great, but it was like they're going through the motions, and it's like that's a really awkward way to do it but that was the technology at the moment. So like you kind of go through all the different types, and you figure out where you are. And I mean, I think that the digital comic stuff now, like again, watching Roberto do this, like it's so, the layers and the it's amazing. I think it's technology is great. It's great. It's perfect for comics. It's so great. Watching the colorists. I remember when it's that Grant Morrison book with Chris Weston, The Filth, when that was coming out.
Yeah.
And Matt Hollingsworth on his website, he would talk about how, because he colored the first, I think, 3 issues, and it was literally like he would do the watercolor painting and then scan it and then lay the line work over it. So you could see like, and that's how he wasn't painting in it. He just would, and then kind of tweak it, where it was needed, and probably, some sort of Photoshop. But like he's doing the literal sitting and painting the background basically. And that had like, that's with like all the mechanized dolphins and all this really weird glowing trees and their all this technological stuff. And so he had all the different steps on his website, and it was just like him, neck deep in technology and doing all that. And I think that's when I started really paying attention to coloring and being so into it and seeing like, this is what you're doing. And I have a lot of, I buy color guides too, from mostly, I have a lot of Wildstorm stuff where they did like the all the marker stuff, where it was like markers that were scanned into probably Adobe and then like, finalized, and they're great. Like, it's so cool. You see like, what they look like. I've got these little black and white things that are all hand colored, and
nice.
I'm never going to own an Aaron Weisenfeld original art, but I have one of his or 2 color guys.
Nice.
It's the closest I can get, but all the parts, right? All the parts of the process.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
I respect that. I respect that you're like a true like appreciator of the form, right?
I mean, comics are cool, and like I love the form. Just the medium is so great, and like there are things you can't, you can pretty much do anything with it. And my daughter is 9, and she wanted to make a comic, and she just sat down one day and made one. Nice. and I helped her through the process, and like, this is how you do this and this, and she drew the whole thing, and she's like, all right, I need to make copies, and I'm going to sell. I think there should be like $70. Like, what are you, Rob Liefeld? Like selling like your I was like, calm down. You made one. She's like, well, I need to go to like a Comic-Con and sell this. I was like, you made one comic. And it, and the story is totally bonkers. But she did the layouts, and she figured it, but she didn't know, she didn't know what not to do. She just did it.
Yeah.
And then like, and she's working on her second one, and it's like,
nice.
It's the coolest thing. It's like, yeah.
It's
amazing.
It's the magic of it. That's good. We got another one. We got another reader.
She's making her own. She doesn't read them, but
oh, there you go. She's going the other way.
She's a creator.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No, it's fun. No, she does read sometimes too, but no, it's just and that's just that like it came out of her. Like, I need to do this. And she started drawing, and then it was like another and she's like, can this be a comic? I was like, yeah, I printed up, all I folded the pages so that she could draw, and she drew them all inside, and has like a little like 8-page comic. It's like,
Nice.
It's awesome. Yeah. That's what they are, right? It's this stuff on the screen, or it's on, pencil and paper and everything in between.
That's the thing, right? It's the whole idea is it's like it's an accessible medium to a degree, right? Like there's nothing stopping you from doing it other than time and skill. But like, and arguably, like you could. Like this is the thing too. When people are like, "Well, I can't afford an artist," it's like that's okay. Like then you pay in time. You have to become your own artist, and it might take you years to get there, but like it's doable, right? Like you can do it. There's you can always learn. You can always learn. You may never hit the same heights as some people. Like some people just have innate skill as well, but you're going to be at least able to get to a point where you could probably tell your story, right? So it's time. If you're not willing to take the shortcut of getting someone who knows, then you do it yourself. And it takes a long time, but like there's literally nothing stopping you other than time, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the magic of it. You can't do a movie by yourself. It's impossible. Right? Like you technically could, but it wouldn't be good. You'd be every character.
you're writer, director, producer, star.
Right? Camera static and
I don't know that people are going to want to see that, but
right? But you could technically finish a comic from beginning to end, right? You just have to develop the skills to make it at a level where people want to read it. But and that's like nothing else. I mean, arguably novels and that too, but I don't know. What's the fun in a novel? I mean,
no, they don't look cool like this does. Roberto, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want to add dialogue or sound effects? I think the third panel should have some sound effects. I don't know, like the steps or something, or maybe starting on the first panel and on.
I'm going to tell you, the second panel I think is my favorite. The look on the guy's face and the door, it's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does he say anything, or are we just gonna?
I don't know.
Imply
this is where I get with my own scripts where I'm like, do we need it? Like the pictures should do it, right? But
I could genuinely say half of the scripts we do here, half of the pages we do. Usually by the end, people are like, I think that tells the story just fine.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I guess. I see you left space for the sound effects though. I know it's like
he's a real artist. He's thinking that way, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, there's something that goes in that space. What is it? Yeah, I don't know. No, it looks really good though. I don't.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, for me, I don't have anything to add to it.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I don't. Maybe in that middle panel, he's going to ask something, but I don't know what it is at the moment. But
what is it? Do you want a mint? I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a weird one. Does he like call his name or something? Or
yeah, I think there's because the look on he's got that pensive look of there's going to be a question, right? Like
could be just a question mark.
Like grandpa.
Look at you just making a word balloon like that. Like I couldn't do that in a billion years, but and I watch Adrian. I watched your videos of how to make them. Like it's really straightforward, but like I just can't do it. But but it's like no, you did it, and they look great. And I gotta.
It takes a lot of wrestling with it.
Like, I'm sure, and I don't have the right software for it. I gotta really be committed to it. But
yeah. Affinity.
I did download some fonts though. I have some nice fonts that I think, but
nice. I do love a good font. That's the one. That's the other thing about hiring out the lettering is what do I do with all my wonderful fonts I purchased?
You're hired, and by the way, you slide them across. Like, I feel like using one of these every once in a while,
right? Nice. I spent all this money on fonts. Like, they do like a sale at the beginning. So Comicraft is one of the two like font places. There's Blambot, Comicraft. Comicraft, the beginning of every year they do like this year was the 2026 sale. So
Yeah.
you get you get fonts for $20.06. Last year was 2025 sale, or right, or $20.26 rather. But yeah,
Yeah.
last year's $20.25, and every year it goes up by the penny, right? But then it's like, ooh, I'm gonna buy like 10 fonts, and
Yeah,
I use
I
one at
got
a
it.
time.
I downloaded a bunch of the free ones through, I think, Blambot.
Yeah, Blambot
Um,
does the like
and
indie.
and
Yeah,
it's that like, yep, this is just for, you can make money off it, but like no like professionals. Like, and
yeah,
I am not even close to professionals. So I was like, yep, that's for me. And I think I got 5 or 6, and I was like, this is different types of things. And
yeah.
I don't know,
That was
someday.
a nice problem to have, actually. That because I used one of the Blambot fonts from
Yeah.
Parts Unknown, and it's like, well, all right, I guess I gotta buy the license now,
Here,
retroactively for this.
here's the money now. I'm a professional. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. You know
right.
what? When you become a professional retro, you should get a discount. You should be like, listen, I am now. It's a problem because I am a professional, and so
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep 25% for myself because
yeah.
I've earned it. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I reached out to Nate like 20 years ago, being like,
Yeah.
"Can you?" It was me and my buddy from film school. And we were gonna do a comic company. Like, I've had this idea forever to do comics, right? And I was like, "Can you do our logo?" And he's like, "No, much too busy to worry
Yeah.
about like you two amateurs straight out of college trying to start a comic book company." But
Yeah.
it's funny how it all comes full circle. But
No, I know his he's got such a great resource there, and and he does all the minor threat
yep,
like caption boxes, which are just like, oh, here's 12 new ones. I'm like, I couldn't figure out one, but like
yeah, yeah,
they're all perfect and exact, and even the colors and so good.
yep,
It's
yep,
a real art.
yeah, right, yeah. And he does the Scotty Young stuff when that
Hmm.
really
Yeah.
like right, and it's like it all goes together so well. Like it's just it's a
Yeah.
skill. It's a skill.
It really is. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he's yeah. So I thought, let me borrow from one of the best. I'll get the fonts that they live on my computer,
yeah,
and someday I'll have to use them to letter my 6-page comic I eventually got drawn, and that's part of the reason that I wanted to do shorter things was if you are going to pay someone, it's easier to pay for 8 pages than you're
and have something
because
finished.
my
Yeah,
first script was 120 pages. It was like it was in the days of the graphic novel days, and
yeah.
that's never going to happen. Never in a billion years not going to happen. But I can swing $60 a page for 8 pages, so
Yeah,
something
right.
like that. So
Yeah, yeah. But that's the truth. Like when I first really got started in this, it was 4 pages with oh my god, his name is slipping me. Lane Lloyd. Oh man.
Mhm.
Almost lost it. Lane Lloyd was and I reached out to him. He's like, "Hey, I have time if somebody has a short idea." And I was just like, "I have an idea for
Yeah,
4 pages." Right? And he did it and it was finished and it was something I could share with people, and that got me going, right? Was like,
right.
okay, like I can do this and I can come up with a story that makes sense and looks good. And
Yeah,
then I went to the next thing and the next thing. But it's starting small, right?
yeah.
Everybody wants to do I have a
Oh,
idea for a
they're
100
300-page
issue
epic.
series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Right?
it,
It's gonna
it's
last
always
6 years.
my volume 8 is gonna be. It's like no one's gonna get
Yeah.
through. You're never volume 8's never coming, buddy. It's never gonna
Right?
happen. Yeah,
Like get people in for 20 pages. If you could get them
right,
in for 20 pages, like not even get people in for 4 pages
right.
and then 8 and then 20 pages.
Yeah,
Like it's all about progression, improving it,
yeah.
and also like you have to get better too, right? So
Hmm.
you don't want to, somebody just starting out, commit to something huge that you will look back on and be like, ugh. I could have done
Yeah,
that,
well,
like I could have done that better with the skill I gained.
yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the thing. Like after I got that first, I started coming with a like a sequel kind of thing with like more stories with the same characters, and I realized I'm glad I did the work, but I don't know that I want anyone to see the first one.
Oh yeah.
Like now, because the characters are way different and they're more defined, and it never would have been the same thing. But yeah, this is a whole different thing now, and you got to get that first 120 pages out before you end up
Yeah.
where you want to be. And um, yeah, no, no, you're doing it the right way. It's good.
Thank you.
This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. It comes with piles and piles of digital scripts and digital stories and things and failure for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's a 20-year overnight success.
Oh, I mean, I tell you, no, this was it, and when like that artist who did that Starman piece, like it was 2005, and we were at SPX, so my wife and I, and visiting friends who live down there, and all, and I was writing comic reviews for a website back then. Like it was kind of like a work trip, and I had just finished the script, and it was like all this stuff was going on, and then nothing, and then life happens, and I don't know, the last couple of years, and again, I think you were an indirect push of you got to do something, like get these things out of you, and so you were consistently putting work out, and it's like, yeah, it's small work, but like it's and it is progressive. Like you got to kind of do that, and it was a good reminder of like it's not about the epics, it's about content, like produced work is what you need. Like it's
like
it's
having
not
something
your
finished to
rock
point
opera,
to.
it's a 3-song EP, like it's doing the stuff and just getting the workout and flexing those muscles, and that's part of it. So yeah.
Oh, man, well, thank you. I'm glad I could help.
It's
No,
awesome.
but
It's awesome, and this is such a cool experience, and Roberto, like no one's ever drawn anything that I've ever talked about, so that's really cool. This is it's awesome.
it's a cool first. It turned out really good too. Like I really like that last panel. I think we
Yeah,
stuck the landing there.
pretty
for real.
spooky.
Yes.
Pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, panels 2 and 3 are really, really great.
Yeah.
The little spooky guy and it's ominous. Very cool.
Right. It builds really well.
Yeah.
Good page. Cool. All right.
Yeah, well, I hope it inspires you to keep doing it, to
Man.
pay some artists to do your
Yeah,
script.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, man. We got to see what you got coming. It'll be fun.
If I actually get anything drawn, we'll even if it's a page, I'll come back and we'll go over it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, with that, it's been a couple hours. We're past time. But this has been so much fun. The time flew. I didn't even notice. So with that, I know you mentioned off the top that you don't really have too much to share, but do you have anything to share? You mentioned your band name, all that stuff. Share whatever you got.
Yeah, my locked Instagram. I'm on I'm Brian Domingos on Blue Sky, and I talk about comics and share the original art that I get. Sometimes it's a lot in a row of new stuff that I have, but my band is Grasshopper Green. We are in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and yeah, that's what we're up to.
Right on. That's a lot. You make it sound like, it's like I don't got too much going on. You got a lot going on.
I just need my band to practice. If you can get in touch with them so we can practice, that'd be cool.
I'll see what I can do.
we're all adults with families and jobs, and it's like that's not going to happen this month. But
yeah, that's it's hard enough to hang out. I can only imagine. Right?
Absolutely, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's life. All right. Okay. So Roberto, what about you? You got anything to share? Anything coming up?
Well, I'm working on Voyager Chapter 4, and the pre-launch page is already on Kickstarter. So you can look it up there on Kickstarter, or you can visit my webpage, robertoibacavaillustration.com. Look all the different social media from there, or subscribe to my newsletter that I write from time to time.
I appreciate the shout outs you've given me in the newsletter recently. That's been very nice. But yes, I subscribe. Everyone should subscribe to the newsletter, even if it's when Roberto has time.
He's a busy, talented guy. Of course.
Well, this is it. He's too busy making awesome art. I
Absolutely.
can't expect him to be writing as well all the time. But it's a good newsletter. Check it out. Check out his website. And okay, so for me, I'm gonna take the screen now.
Yes.
So I got stuff going on. Believe it or not. From Parts Unknown right here. That little poster on this poster technically too. So April 29th, store shelves. You can find From Parts Unknown. You probably could find copies of From Parts Unknown because there's a nice hefty order that was put in, so your comic shop probably has it. And the reason that that's important is because issue 2 we skipped a month, so we gave the comic shops a chance to know how many of what number 1 they sold, so they know how much of number 2 to order. So I'm not done talking about it. go get issue 1 and then pre-order issue 2 so that we know that, what order is going to be put in for that. But yeah, 5 issues. So if you followed it on Kickstarter a couple of years ago, you know that it was only 4 because we did a double issue. We're doing the single issues throughout. So 5 issues from now through September. You find that in stores. If you're not a LCS guy, which shame on you, you should be. But if you're not, that's okay. And you're a Kickstarter guy, Naked Kaiju Woman is on pre-launch as well. So you can get that bit.ly/NKW3. That'll bring you to the Naked Kaiju Woman page. That won't hit store shelves because it's a little too spicy. There's naked ladies all over the book. So so if you're into that, Naked Kaiju Woman is available on Kickstarter. From Parts Unknown, it's available in stores. And yeah, you can find everything. Pesto Comics on the socials, pestocomics.com. Very easy to find. Pesto Comics. Very straightforward and simple. All right. So with that, we got a beautiful page. We had a good conversation. Anything else anybody wants to say before we sign off? We all good? Thank you to everybody. Cool. All right. With that, I want to thank everybody for watching. And yeah, we'll talk again soon. Oh, wait, Roberto, one more thing.
Buy from Parts Unknown and pre-order it.
Yes.
Yes. Pre-order your comics every time. Pre-order your comics.
Not just my book, everyone's book. Pre-order.
I've never missed a comic that I've pre-ordered.
There you go.
Never,
right?
ever. They're always available because I pre-ordered it.
That's how you do it. You
That's
pre-order, and it's a month before it's on sale. So FOC, learn what that means, and pre-order before then. Very important. But yeah, pre-order your comics and make sure you pick them up too. Just as important.
Yes, and buy them from the store. Yes,
yes,
pre-order. Tell them you want it, and then go pick it up. Yeah,
and then go pick it up. That's critical. But yeah, cool. We need a slogan like that or something. We'll figure that out. We may have landed on something there. But okay, with all that, I want to thank everyone for watching. We're gonna let y'all go. Have a good night. We'll be back, I think, next week. So we'll be back soon. All right. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.